The Parker Family DNA Disaster, Part 5 continued. The Cost of Silence. Trina blinked hard, back in the tent, trembling. Her eyes were wet. Her voice barely worked. "One of my friends went looking for me," Trina said, voice shaking. "She told me later. She opened the door and found me naked on that bed." The family leaned in. Even Kenneth and Vanessa paused at the bar. Kayla let out a broken sob. Trina continued, eyes staring at nothing. "She screamed, called the other girls. They ran in. They didn't see nobody, just me, still out." Trina wiped her face. "They told me they dressed me fast. They asked one of the guys sitting on the couch if he could help carry me to the car. They told him I was passed out because I drank too much." The tent was silent except for quiet crying. Somebody whispered, "Oh my God." Trina nodded slowly. "When I woke up the next morning, I was in my friend's room and I heard them whispering." She shifted her voice, mimicking the hush of teenage fear. "You think something happened?" "Girl, I know something happened. She was gone a long time. I heard dudes laughing in the hallway." Trina closed her eyes. "I only had flashes." Her voice tightened. "But I knew from how sore I was." Her voice trailed off, unable to say the words. "A few weeks later, I missed my period. I was terrified. I was pregnant, and I knew it was from that night because I was a virgin." The tent stayed frozen. Kayla covered her mouth. Keyshawn stared at the ground like it was the only thing keeping him upright. Trina's voice broke. "I told my mama." Her voice shifted as she remembered that moment. Her mother's face, disbelief turning to horror. The way her mama pulled her into her arms while Trina cried so hard she couldn't breathe. "She consoled me, but she told me we had to tell my daddy." Trina looked up, eyes bloodshot. "And when my daddy found out, he was furious." Not furious at Trina, furious at the lie, furious at the party, furious at the men. He wanted to go find them. He wanted to kill them. My parents were Christians, not pro-choice, but they couldn't let me carry that shame in public. They couldn't let me raise a baby maid like that. Kayla shook her head, sobbing. No. Trina nodded slowly. They decided, not me, them. When she started showing, they sent her north to stay with her daddy's Aunt Helen. At first, I was just surviving. But as the months passed, the ultrasounds, the kicks, somewhere along the way, I started loving him without meaning to. They came up for the delivery, made sure everything went how they planned. I begged them over and over. I told them I want to keep my baby. I told them I loved him already, she said, as she finally looked Keyshawn in the eyes for the first time. She inhaled sharply. They told me it wasn't up for discussion. When I gave birth, I didn't even get to hold you. She looked back at Keyshawn, who had taken the collar of his t-shirt and pulled it up to wipe the tears falling from his face. The nurse took him, Trina said. Quick. like he was something to hide. And that was it. I was back home, trying to live again. The tent was full of quiet sobs. Kayla cried like she was drowning. Family members whispered, some praying, some cussing under their breath, some wiping tears like they didn't want anybody to see. Trina took a shaky breath. And then her face softened like a warm light flickered through the horror. 3 years later, I walked into a Waffle House to get some food to go. I ordered a patty melt, hash browns with cheese, and pickles. After I ordered my food, I heard somebody chuckle behind me. I turned around and shot him a look because I thought it was rude, until he said through the most beautiful smile, I thought I was the only person in the world who ate pickles in my Waffle House hash browns. And I replied, yeah, and I like it with mayonnaise. And before I could finish, he completed my sentence, and in unison we said, and ketchup. Someone murmured, ew. A few sniffles, a few shaky laughs. Trina let out a quiet laugh through tears. Her gaze shifted to Kayla. I met your daddy at that Waffle House. Kayla's sobbing slowed just a little. He started talking. Didn't even take our food to go. He sat at the countertop and ate our food, talking for the next few hours. From that day forward, we were tied at the hip. 6 months later, we got married. A year later, you were born, she said to Kayla. Kayla stared at her mother like she didn't know her anymore. Trina shook her head, crying. I never told Michael about the party or the baby created that night. I never imagined this would come back. I never imagined you'd be sitting here. She looked at Kayla, then Keyshawn. And the past would crawl up under this tent and sit right in my lap. Trina began to sob in grief. Some of the elders rushed to her side and held her. Different family members were heard as they began to try and console her. It's all right, Trina. It's going to be okay. This wasn't your fault. Kayla's whole body started trembling. A voice in the crowd muttered, well, fault or no fault, they can't get married now. They brother and sister. Kayla's eyes rolled back. She fainted. Keyshawn caught her instantly. People screamed. Many ran towards Kayla to help. Uncle June jumped up. Back up. Give her air. Trina grabbed a reunion fan, dropped to her knees beside her grief-stricken child, fanning her and saying, come on, Kayla. Come on, baby. Wake up. Wake up, baby. The whole tent stood watching and holding their breath, some praying, some still wiping their tears. The emotions could definitely be felt by everyone there. Even Uncle June was seen quickly wiping his eyes with his pocket hanky. After a few minutes, Kayla came to. She looked to her right and into her mom's face. She began sobbing. Mama, Mama, Mama. Her eyes pleading with her mother. I know, baby, Trina cried, fanning her face. I know. No, you don't. You don't know, Mama. You don't. Kayla clutched her mother. Mama, what am I gonna do? A cousin murmured, what's she gonna do? Is she serious? An elder snapped, hush that up right now. Trina froze. Kayla. Kayla shook her head violently, tears pouring. Kayla looked up, eyes wild, broken. As she turned her head and saw Keyshawn still holding her, still shaking, still trying to understand how you could love her and be her brother in the same breath. Kayla's voice came out small. I'm pregnant. and the entire tent exploded into chaos.